So today I am testing again, hoping that my lines are darker than yesterday for two different reasons. I've been having some cramping, which can be really normal, and I'm trying not to let that scare me too much, but I have had a miscarriage in the past. It adds a lot of extra stress to this whole situation. Good morning. Today is 11 DPO and I am going to dip all these tests, and while they are loading I want to show you guys my chart, my BBT chart, because I think it is pretty interesting to look at. But I am going to dip an easy at home ovulation test, an easy at home pregnancy test, a Proov pregnancy test, and then a Wondfo, the extra sensitive test, and then I have a Clearblue pink dye and a first response early detection test. Let's start dipping. Here is the easy at home LH. Here is the easy at home pregnancy test. This is the Proov pregnancy test. Here is the Wondfo pregnancy test. This is the Clearblue pink dye test. This is the first response early detection test. I'm going to let all of those load for 3 minutes and then we will look at them. But I want to talk about yesterday, and if you have been following my journey here on YouTube and watching all of my videos, then you'll probably know that yesterday I got a positive digital pregnancy test, and it is just so exciting to see those words pregnant and know that you really are pregnant and you're not just looking at faint lines. So today I am testing again, hoping that my lines are darker than yesterday, and it kind of is for two different reasons. I've been having some cramping, which can be really normal in early pregnancy. It's not constant, it's kind of like on and off, and I'm trying not to let that scare me too much, but I have had a miscarriage in the past, and it was actually a missed miscarriage, which means I lost my baby, but I didn't know that I had lost my baby. So it adds a lot of extra stress to this whole situation. So I just want to make sure that my lines are getting darker, and I'm actually probably going to keep testing until I miss my period technically. And another thing that is giving me a little bit of hope is that when I took my temperature this morning, it had a little increase. So it has been kind of it went up from after when I ovulated, and it's kind of stayed in the same area the whole time, and now it's jumped up again, which I hope that means that this is all going well. My body is doing what it needs to do. So hopefully when we look at these tests today, they all look really dark. I want some dye stealers. As much as I would love dye stealers, 11 DPO is still early, and there's a chance that these lines are still faint. I am just hoping that they are darker than yesterday, and after I'm past my period, I will put together a line progression video for all of you so you guys can see how my line progressed with every different test that I have been taking. Unfortunately, I am out of my Frida fertility test, so I won't have any more of those to dip. But let's look at the tests that I have dipped today. We'll start with the LH. So this is the ovulation test. And as you can see there, it still needs to load. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a technical positive, if it's going to be a 1 or not, but I'll let it keep loading and we will see what it does. Okay, this is the easy at home pregnancy test. That is so faint still. I mean, I know you guys can see it, but that is just, it's so faint. Is that even darker than yesterday? This makes me nervous. Okay, Proov. Yep, just another really faint line. If you guys have been watching me for a really long time, then you know I don't physically keep my old pregnancy tests, because as pregnancy tests dry out, especially these pregnancy tests, they get like a yellowy color to them, and it makes it really hard to see the line progression. So I take photos of all of my tests, and then I like line them up next to each other so you can actually see the line progression. So I will take a photo of these and like compare them to see if they look darker or not. But it just makes me nervous. They're so faint. And this is the Wondfo extra sensitive. So I'm hoping that this one's darker than those other ones. Very similar. I think that Wondfo looks a tad bit darker than the other ones, but it makes me nervous. They're really faint. I thought it would be a lot darker today than it was yesterday. Okay, so let's see the Clearblue. I think this looks darker than yesterday. I think so. That looks... But maybe you guys have a better memory than me, and you can tell me if you think it looks darker, or if you're watching my videos, you know, back to back, whatnot. But, man, I need to go and... Whenever I edit this video, I'm going to add all these photos next to each other and see if they look like they're getting darker or not. This is the first response. Okay, this looks darker. Oh, yes. It looks darker. Okay, this makes me feel a lot better. The fact that this one looks darker. I repeat myself 100 times, but this definitely looks darker than yesterday. And I did keep this test. Let me go grab this test real fast. All right, so I have my 10 DPO first response, and then this is my 11 DPO first response. So you guys can see that it does look a little bit darker. And this one hasn't started to yellow out yet, so I still have it. So the top one is 10 DPO, and then the bottom one is 11 DPO. So you can see it's just the littlest bit darker. But getting darker is the goal. We want it to get darker. I think we are going in the right direction. Our lines are getting darker, and hopefully tomorrow or maybe the next day they will all be dye stealers. I know that there's no way to reassure myself that everything is okay with my baby until I see its heartbeat. But when you're 3 weeks along, there is no heartbeat to see yet. But I will keep taking pregnancy tests just to see the line get darker, because it is the only thing I have to tell myself personally that my pregnancy is progressing appropriately and my hormones are at least doing what they need to do to sustain a pregnancy. I appreciate all of you coming along on this journey with me, and I'm so grateful to have all of the loving comments and support from all of you. I am planning on recording and sharing all of my journey through my pregnancy. If that's something you're interested in following along and you want to be here to share those experiences with me, then subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss when I post an update for my pregnancy as we go into this new chapter of our life.